Alright, I'm back, and I am live on the Red app. Alright. Okay, we pause that. Great beat, by the way. Great beat. Okay. Alright, so this went viral last night. So at UFC 323, a heated altercation broke out between Jamal Hill and Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Context: I said Yana. Joanna had allegedly been aggressive to Hill's partner and was restrained by security. All right, let's see. Looks like security's holding Joanna back. And Jamal says, if you touch... Well, he basically said, if you touch my girl, I'll knock you out. I mean, look. It's a tricky situation. Well, I wouldn't say tricky, but... honestly, I'll go ahead and say this. Like, putting your hands on a woman, hitting a woman is one of the worst things you can do as a man. I stand by that. But if Joanna was getting mad at Hill's girlfriend and potentially tried to assault Hill's girlfriend, then if I was Jamal Hill, like I said, I don't condone putting hands on women. Like I'm against that. I'm completely against that. I don't support that at all. But I'll say this. I would obviously try to stop Joanna from hitting my girl. Yeah, basically. If I was Jamal Hill, I would just try to stop her. I wouldn't try to hit Joanna. I would just try to stop her. That's basically what I would do. Try to protect her from my girlfriend, obviously, because that's what men do. That's what boyfriends do. They protect their girlfriends. But that's just my take on it. All right, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. And here's Joanna's response to the whole situation. Joanna Jędrzejczyk has released a video statement after a video leaked of her getting into an altercation with Jamal Hill and his partner.
Hi guys, I worked so hard to earn my reputation and I'm embarrassed to be in this situation, but when somebody uses my name falsely, without any basis in truth, I will always stand up for myself.
Okay.
And for that, I do not deserve to be threatened. I am mindful that I am a strong, capable woman who has the benefit of a lifetime of self-defense training. I have a platform and resources that most women don't have. So I empathize with the women who are disrespected and threatened and lack the power and means to stand up for themselves and to stand up for the truth. I expect more from the society. I certainly expect more from athletes in our sport. I want to thank the UFC security and staff for their professionalism. I consider this matter closed, and I wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday season.
Okay, she just said a whole lot of nothing. Oh, okay. She just said nothing, basically. Basically, she said nothing. All right, so Marab and Yan 2. I made a TikTok clip about this fight, about that fight, and I said that fight was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. From Piotr Jan's performance was one of the greatest performances I've ever seen. And here's Aljo's thoughts about this. It's kind of a hot take.
I will say in real time, I thought it was possibly us winning the first 3 rounds, even though I knew that they were close. I just thought we edged it out. If possibly us winning I will say in real time, I thought it was possibly us winning the first 3 rounds, even though I knew that they.
What fight was Aljo watching? Marab won. He said that Marab won 3 rounds, the first 3 rounds. Dude, what fight were you watching, dude?
They were close. I just thought we edged it out. The 4th round, I knew Jan won that round, and then obviously as the fight's going, round 5, we knew he was starting to get the better of that round. So I figured it would be 3-2 us, but
No way Aljo thought Marab won the fight. Hey, dude, I get it. That's your best friend. I get it. That's Aljo's best friend, but come on now. Like, it's so obvious that Jan won the fight. That was one of the best performances I have ever seen in an MMA octagon. That was one of the best performances. But come on, dude. Like, that fight wasn't 3-2 to Marab. Like, what fight was he watching?
it ended up being 4-1 and 3-2 for Jan, which 3-2 I'm not.
3-2 to Jan. I think that's wrong too. It shouldn't be 49-46 to Jan. Honestly, I had Jan winning all rounds, all of the rounds, all of them. I thought it was a 50-45 to Jan.
Super mad about the 4-1 was kind of like it just almost makes me wonder, like, what the hell am I watching if I had it 3-2? I don't know.
Yeah, what fight were you watching?
Close fight. Jan did great, man. I do think Marab didn't quite look himself, but I want to make sure I'm giving respect and props to Jan for the things that he also did well, right?
Going round by round, I thought it was competitive, it was close, but I just thought you couldn't be confident either way because I thought Jan definitely had the more impactful moments. If you went based on volume, I think like the strike count still favored Marab overall, but it felt like it was going to be a typical Marab fight. Honestly, like watching it, at least on TV, I was like, okay, like Marab's going to get the ball rolling, and then slowly it's going to start, shifting over. But I mean, you do have to give credit to Jan. If you're able to keep that pace, even just keep up that intensity with Marab, you got to respect that. I mean, I think for anybody, that's not an easy task. Even on Marab's worst day, I think he would be a nightmare for most people. So credit to Jan for that.
Dude, I don't know what fight Aljo was watching. He thought that Marab won. Derek Brunson saying cap. Yeah, it is cap. Like there's no way he actually believes that Marab won the fight. Yeah, that was a 50-45 to Jan. Like, my good, like that, there's just no way Aljo thought he won the fight, that Marab won the fight. No way. Alright, so FaZe Adapt says he was surprised when he saw India Love on stage. You know what? I'll watch a video about, I have a video on my watch later list about the whole streamer reward stuff, and I did watch the India Love clip like a couple of days ago, so yeah. But anyways, I'll watch this clip anyway. FaZe Adapt says he was surprised when he saw India Love on stage at the Streamer Awards, but was unbothered by what she said because he knows how hard he worked.
Okay, cool. And then I hear my name, and I look up, and I'm like, wait a second. That is not Valkyrie. And then I realized it was like a whole Kanye moment type thing, you know what I mean? And a lot of people want to know my reaction, how I felt like about that. And to be honest with you, I'm not bothered. How could I be bothered? Because I know I put the work in. I know I did. I know I did. And I've never had nothing to prove to anyone but myself. Nothing to anyone but myself.
Okay, pretty mature response.
And every stage of my life, that's all I've ever tried to do. Is whatever I said I was going to do, whatever goal I set for myself, all I've tried to do is stay disciplined and keep pushing forward to get that goal, right? And no one is ever going to take that away from me or make me feel like I didn't deserve this award or like I didn't put in pain. You know what I mean? And there's ways to go about doing it, right? Okay, cool. And then
Okay, so you know what's crazy? No, I'll save it for the other video that I put on my list. Never mind. But yeah, pretty mature response from Adat. You know, he didn't say anything crazy. Okay, we got a little NFL video. Okay, so Electric, a Green Bay Packers fan, posted a video from the stands after Keyshawn Nixon, former Gamecock, by the way, made the game-winning play. Over 80K fans in Lambeau Field jump up and started going absolutely crazy, celebrating the greatest stadium in sports. I can't believe I got this moment on camera. Okay, that's copyright music. Fortunately, I gotta mute it. Why he had to play music? Okay, it's Caleb Williams. Scrambling throws, intercepted. Dude, I want to visit Lambeau Field one day. You know, obviously I'm not a Packers fan, and I feel like I think every NFL fan should visit Lambeau Field if they have the chance. Like every NFL fan. Even if you don't support the Packers, because I think like Lambeau Field is a historic stadium, and I would love to visit that stadium. So historic and iconic. All right, so Sean O'Malley thinks Petr Yan is avoiding him.
And Tim showed me this morning. He said, they asked like Peter if you would give me a rematch if I beat Song, whatever. And Peter goes, ha, starts laughing. And every time Peter's been asked about me in a rematch, even before this, he's avoided it. I'm not saying Petr Yan's scared of me by any means.
He's definitely.
But why? He says I'm not deserving or I'm not good enough or whatever. Wouldn't that be a great reason to defend the belt? Wouldn't you want to fight? I fought Cheeto. Like, why wouldn't you want? He said Merab.
All right, so, you know, I'm a fan of Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is one of my favorite fighters, but he's got to beat Song Yadong first. You got to focus on Song Yadong, and I'm pretty sure he is focused on Song Yadong. And if he beats Song Yadong, you know, he could get a title shot. He could get a title could get a title shot. Yeah. And he'll fight Petr Yan again because Petr Yan's next fight will be a rematch against Merab, in my opinion, and I think he should be able to beat Merab because Yan pretty much figured him out. So yeah, I think Yan and O'Malley too could happen soon. That's if he beats Song Yadong, by the way. Obviously, if he beats Song Yadong. And, never mind. Okay. Peyton Talbot explains his issue with Aiden Ross. Okay, so I'll briefly explain why him and Aiden somewhat have beef. It's because Aiden asked Peyton Talbot to be on his stream, and Peyton Talbot responded by sending Aiden a picture of his penis. And yes, you heard me. Peyton Talbot sent a picture of his penis to Aiden Ross. All right, so Peyton Talbot explains his issue with Aiden Ross.
Can I ask, the beef with Aiden Ross, is that a work or a shoot? I can't quite tell.
What does that mean? Like, is it staged?
Work, it's a pro wrestling term. Like, work is that it's like scripted, shoot is that it's legit.
Oh no, it's legit. I mean, I recently saw that he like put a fucking bounty on my head.
Yeah, he said.
Yeah, I seen the clip. I seen the clip of Aiden Ross saying that Aiden basically saying that whoever knocks out Peyton Talbot in his next fight will get $50K.
$50K or something for someone to knock you out?
Yeah, and then he said he's gonna like sue me. I'm sure he was joking or whatever. But like, see, that's my point, man. It's just like the one thing he can do to like maintain relevance is just like put a fucking bounty on my head. It's like that's why I said no in the first place. It's
Said
just shit like-
maintain relevance. Hey, you know, Aiden, he's not as popular as he used to be, but Aiden Ross is still one of the biggest streamers in the world. I don't know what you're talking about, Peyton.
like that.
This is legit? This is legit?
Yeah, yeah.
What?
That's the gripe I have with streaming culture. It's like he has no ability to do anything to me, so he's offering somebody else money to produce some kind of viral like that's just why I don't like it. It's like
Yeah.
vampire-y, it's leechy, it's sucky. And guys like you and Nina, I said that on Nina's thing and I felt kind of bad because I wasn't talking to her. She has her whole stick. You and her both do like your research, and it's a job that you guys do. Like there's skill, you guys talk, you guys engage, but it's just like pointing a camera at somebody and saying that now clap like a monkey.
Yeah.
No, wait, now do it again. The chat missed it. It's like I just don't like that.
No, I it's not my thing. I don't get it. I understand it's for a younger demographic. I see my kids watching these guys all day, and I've nothing against them. I just couldn't do that. I didn't know that you said that with Nina. Why'd you feel bad though?
Oh, because I just didn't. I just don't know if she generalized herself to what I was talking about.
Okay.
But like, I don't hate those people or anything. I just like don't want to be a part of it.
No, I get. So, but can I ask, what is the issue? Because I thought you guys were friends.
Me and Aiden.
Yeah, like what is the issue between? He just asked you to come on the stream and you said no, and that was it?
No, bro. He DM'd me asking me, and this is everywhere already. But yeah, I sent him a picture with my decline, and I said, no, I would not like to be on your stream. Stream these instead. And it was a picture of some nice balls.
Where,
Yeah, that is absolutely weird for him to do that.
they were yours, or you just took them off the internet?
Hey, I won't say.
Okay, wow.
They were really good looking. I will say that. They were a good pair of balls.
That's incredible. And he took this as a personal offense.
He kind of passed the vibe check.
Dude, him doing that is actually way more zesty than all the things that Aiden Ross has done, in his streaming career. Like what Peyton Talbot did to Aiden Ross was far more zesty than what Aiden has done the past couple of years.
He just thought it was funny. He's like, oh, good luck anyway. Like, can we still be friends? And I just like left it at that. But
Wow.
I guess he doesn't want to be friends anymore. He wants to put a bounty on me, big scary bounty.
Wow.
I mean, I can't blame him for Aiden, reacting like that. I probably wouldn't put a bounty on Talbot, to be honest, but I can't really blame Aiden for reacting that way because that was just weird from Talbot.
That is weird. That is weird to do that.
No, he's weird for sending a picture of a penis to Aiden Ross. No, that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, what I did was weird?
No. The bounty.
Yes, what you did was weird.
Like, what is that?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's like nobody's trying to knock me out as is.
Yeah, that's right. Here's an extra 50K.
All right, let's see what the comments are saying. You can call it lychee, but both people benefit in the case of going on his stream. He gets a cool guest, and you get more publicity. If you don't want that type of publicity, sending a pic of your balls isn't the way to decline. Exactly. Peyton is a weirdo. Facts. And this dude said, how so? Dude, bro, he sent a picture of his balls. Like, what are you talking about? All right, let's see if there's any more clips. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? How's it going? All right. Back to YouTube. All right.
All these.
I tried to warn you. Wait, no. Not this video. Let's. Oh, you said you got a PS5? Yeah, I got a PS5. You said deep voice, no offense. Yeah, no, I don't take any offense. I like my deep voice. Yeah, let's finish this Rakai video. Yeah, I was watching this Rakai video yesterday. Got GTA? No, I don't have GTA. No, I don't. I'm gonna be honest. Got other games? I think I was on this part.
I don't know how it happened, but guess what? God is still good. It was still good.
But I do personally believe that there was an actual error, because there's no way anyone is receiving a 2-year ban for that. Like, I think it was a bit crazy, especially where people are only getting banned for 1 week for doing way worse things. But that's a whole different conversation for another time. Anyways though, in the meantime, while Rakai is serving this 2-week suspension, instead of him just taking a break away from the internet and leaving for the full 2 weeks like many creators would do, he has so much love for the game that he decided to switch over to YouTube streaming for the time being. And honestly, thus far, that's been going pretty well for him, which I am kind of glad that he's doing good on YouTube.
Must be nice. Must be nice. Yeah, all those viewers must be nice.
Because if he went to YouTube and like pulled bad numbers, that would lead people just saying he was view botting and all of this. You guys know how Twitch is nowadays. But he has been doing pretty good, and he even took some time to defend himself about the current situation he was involved in. According to Rakai, he had planned this whole thing out with his team prior to it even taking place, and apparently his team was supposed to stop the woman before she even tried to leave the store.
Listen, bro. We in Walmart. I handed the girl the flowers. I said, here, but I didn't buy them, right? I handed the flowers. I'm so I'm so cute, I'm so petite, I'm so good looking, I'm so good looking, nigga. I'm so nice and so smart. I told my assistant, I said, yo, tell her that I didn't buy it, put it back. But I didn't show it on stream. So you feel me? I get where Twitch is coming from, bro.
So right now, the most important thing for Rakai is to just stay focused and stay on the right path and just completely avoid making these boneheaded mistakes for the sake of a viral clip. You guys know in the world of streaming today, everyone is just trying to clip farm who's going to go the most viral, and they're willing to do the dumbest thing imaginable to get to that point. But luckily for him, he's still very young. He's only 17 years old. He just turned 17 years old actually. So in a few years, everyone is probably going to forget about this, especially if he fixes his PR. Like if he comes back and shows that he's matured a lot and start doing good things in the world, everyone is just going to forget something like this even happened. It's kind of similar to like IShowSpeed. Obviously he started his career off very young as well, and when he first started getting his popularity, he made a lot of very bad mistakes that landed him permanently banned on Twitch and things like that. But he took all of those mistakes, learned from them, and grew as a person, and now everyone kind of forgot all of that even happened, and he's literally the biggest streamer in the world. But let's hope that when Rakai returns back to Twitch within the next 2 weeks, that he's got everything together. Hopefully he rights all of his wrongs and just continues to take over. He's been going crazy, and I don't think any of this is going to affect him too negatively at all. Most people were on his side when he seen that this ban was supposedly...
Okay, Aiden tweeted. Okay, so ban Hassan for abusing his animal and joking about it. Ban Nina for stealing and doubling down. Rakai is a kid. He's a stupid kid just like we all were at 17. A 2-year ban is absolutely out of pocket. Twitch has such an effed up favoritism system in place.
2 years to begin with, so we'll just have to see how much he can learn and grow from this entire situation. But that's just my personal opinion, and as you guys know, the only opinion that really matters to me is you guys' opinion. So with that being said, be sure to comment down below and let me know, what do you think of this entire situation? Do you think Rakai deserved this 2-week ban? Do you think he deserved a 2-year ban? How do you feel about all of the recent success Rakai is seeing? And do you think he could keep all of this momentum rolling while being...
I mean, like, typically I don't dislike... I mean, I don't dislike Rakai. It's just... he's just not the... He's not the smartest kid, you know? And, yeah, you know, he's just a kid that makes... does some stupid stuff sometimes, basically. Alright. Alright, let's get the college football videos out of the way. Alright, I spoke about this a couple of days ago, and I would just want to watch another video about it. I made a TikTok clip of this. Notre Dame is opting out of the bowl game. And I heard there was other teams doing it. I'm not sure. That's what I heard. But I forgot who opted out the bowl games.
Nobody's going to care that you're not playing in the bowl game, and it just looks bad on you. It reminds me so much of the kid at the park who gets upset and he takes his ball and goes home knowing it's the only ball there.
He said Alabama going to Cancun. Not true. That's a crazy comment, by the way.
This video can make it a little bit... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you are having a great Sunday. Hope all of you had a great weekend. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, we have aborted the Week 15 recap because we had to talk about this breaking news. I think it's more important than the Week 15 recap that Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish, have just opted out the bowl game? What's going on? Notre Dame, what are we doing? Are we going to be that type of person? Or are we going to take our ball and go home when things don't go our way? Crybaby mentality at its finest. And here's why this doesn't make any sense. I tried telling Notre Dame fans, athletic director, everyone yesterday, you weren't getting in. There is a video on the channel titled, I posted it yesterday at around 3 p.m. I have bad news for Notre Dame. So don't act shocked. If you're a viewer of this channel, you should not be shocked. We have already discussed this. Notre Dame was never getting in this playoff. But the problem is y'all like to listen to all these randeezes on the internet try to convince you that, oh, well, if Alabama gets blown out, they're going to have a shot. Alabama was a log. Always were. They could have lost by $5 billion. And like we talked about in that video, with BYU losing, you can now compare and use the head-to-head argument. And I knew the committee was going to give it to Miami, and they should have. They got it right. By the way, let me throw this in there. I meant to say this. Let me know in the comment section, do you guys still want to see the Week 15 recap? It will be uploaded later than normal because I got to get this video
Yep,
on
about
first.
to
so
see
let
it
me know
after this video.
on the comment section. If you want it, we'll still do it. But yeah, I got to talk about this. I don't want to make it a super long video. This is breaking news as when I'm speaking. I'm going to try my best to get it uploaded ASAP. I'm shocked. I really am. I can't believe Notre Dame's not playing in the bowl game. It's not even a thing where you got snubbed. This isn't the BCS era where you went undefeated and you didn't get a top 2 seed. This isn't even the 14, but it's a 12-team playoff. It's hard for me to feel bad for you, especially when you don't play in a conference and your schedule is not that difficult. But here's the thing. You want to say, well, Matt, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, but the 2 toughest games of the year, you lost. There's nothing you can point at on Notre Dame's schedule and go, oh, yeah, that's really impressive. What was impressive to me was the fact that you took care of business every single week. You played cupcakes, and you creamed all of them. You annihilated them. I've given you credit for that. But since your schedule was as weak as it was, and you had Miami right behind you, and you played Miami and lost to them earlier in the season, you knew or should have known this was inevitable. As crazy as it was for an undefeated ACC champion Florida State to not get in at 13-0, this one's not even near that. I get Florida State's gripe. I got it back then. I get it now. You literally, and I mean literally, couldn't have done anything more when it comes to winning your games. They went 13-0. It doesn't get any better than that, guys. 13-0. Wasn't always pretty, sure, as in the sorry and sucky ACC, but 13-0 is 13-0. I get why fans are pissed off there. But this one, no, I don't understand the hissy fit. And it's coming from not even just the fan base, but the AD and the entire, what would you call them at this point in time with NIL? The organization. I know we call them programs, but it's really like NFL organizations at this point. What are we thinking? Opting out of the bowl game? Oh, yeah, we'll show them. Nah, we're not playing some meaningless bowl game. No, it's playoffs or nothing. We're out. We're not playing. Yeah. That'll show them. You don't leave out the mighty Notre Dame Irish. Get out of here. That's all I gotta say. Get the F out of here. Nobody's gonna care that you're not playing in the bowl game, and it just looks bad on you. It reminds me so much of the kid at the park who gets upset and he takes his ball and goes home knowing it's the only ball there. Oh yeah, well y'all ain't gonna let me play? Y'all gonna make me wait a couple games to get next? No, I'm taking my ball and I'm leaving. Same thing here. It's pathetic. It is. You lost the first 2 games of the season. It was close. You were competitive, but you lost. Unless I'm highly mistaken, I don't see Vanderbilt out there throwing a hissy fit. You know, they only lost 2 games in the SEC, the toughest conference in America. They lost 2 games, and they're not even getting mentioned for
toughest conference in the country, and only lost 2 games.
The playoffs. Heck, Texas, they got 3 top 15 wins. Are they declining a bowl game? I don't think so.
No.
To go back to the Florida State
They're supposed to play Michigan.
thing, even as pissed off as they were, they still played in that bowl game against Georgia. I'll give them some respect, a little bit. I know all the starters backed out, but they still showed up. So Mike Norvell, give a nice little head nod. Respect it, brother. But this right here, no respect, none whatsoever. If an undefeated 13-0 Florida State team will play in the bowl game, there's no excuse for you at 10-2 to not play in the bowl game. None at all. Florida State crashing out, reasonable. This, no. You're a sore loser. Now, I know what some people may be saying. Well, Matt, I've seen these other teams out here declining bowl game invites. I believe Auburn is declining an invite. There's a bunch of people declining invites.
Oh, yeah, Auburn. That was a team that declined an invite. Auburn.
5-7 because they're trying to find some teams to fill in all these crappy bowl games. The real meaningless bowl games that barely anybody's going to watch. But here is where your team's like, who is it? Let me pull it up to be exact because Brett McMurphy was tweeting about it. Oh, yeah, I got it right here. I'll just read it off word for word. Florida State, Auburn, UCF, Baylor, and Rutgers are the 5-7 teams that declined a bowl bid, sources told On 3 Sports. Of course, these teams thought the season was over 2 weeks ago and players have scattered. They didn't, quit because they didn't make the playoff. For those of you that are confused, because I know some people are like, wait a minute, I thought you had to win 6 games to be bowl eligible. You're supposed to. What happens is sometimes, since we have so many bowls, we run out of 6-win teams, and then they start offering occasionally the top-rated 5-7 team. And then if that team says no, they go on. So they've asked Florida State, Auburn, UCF, Baylor, Rutgers.
Okay, so not only Auburn declined a bowl bid, Florida State did, UCF, Baylor, and Rutgers. I'm wondering, well, no. I was about to say if since all those teams are declining bowl bids, maybe South Carolina could play in a bowl soon, but I doubt it.
Agency right here, and they all said no, which doesn't shock me. I don't expect those programs to say yes, but if you're wondering why those teams are saying no, it's because they're already preparing for next season. These teams have already fired their head coaches. They've had players opt out, enter the transfer portal, just all kinds of stuff going on. There's no way they can play in a playoff game. They're not going to be ready for it. Or my apologies, I said playoff game. Sorry, we're talking about that so much. A bowl game. But for Notre Dame, it is way different because they have their current head coach and they have all their current players. Nobody's entered the portal. Nobody's done anything. So when 5-7 Auburn or UCF or Baylor's like, nah, we're not going to play in the bowl game. We got too much going on. I get that. Everybody gets that. You should. But Notre Dame, completely different story. This has nothing to do with your head coach leaving. You're trying to find a new one. Players coming in and out. No. It's because you're a sore loser. That's all this is. You're a sore loser. Here's what's really pathetic about it. I'm going to go back to 2023. Outside of Florida State feeling like they got snubbed, you know who I thought got snubbed that year? The Georgia Bulldogs. I know they lost to Alabama in the SEC Championship game, but that Georgia team, I'm staying on this hill till the day I die, was much better now. I'm sorry, coughing. We're leaving it in the video. They were much better than Alabama, and also they only had one loss. They were undefeated heading into the SEC Championship. I thought they were better in Washington. I had Georgia in. But since Georgia lost and Alabama was getting in, there's no way the committee was going to put both Alabama and Georgia in. Somebody had to fall. Everybody remembers that year for Florida State getting snubbed. I thought Georgia did, and guess who played each other in the bowl game? Florida State and Georgia. And you know what Georgia did? They took the approach of, we're pissed off. We're going to show the committee they messed up, and we're going to beat Florida State to a pulp. And they did that.
Yeah, just absolutely BTA, literally. Capital B, capital T, capital A, BTA to Florida State.
I love that approach, and that is the difference in the programs you currently see at Georgia and Florida State. But I also got to say now with Georgia and Notre Dame. Georgia wanted to prove a point to everyone out there that they should be in the playoff, and they are not just one of the best teams in the nation, they're one of the best programs in the nation. Notre Dame, they're not taking that same approach, and I don't like it. You should look at this. I believe they're supposed to go to the Pop-Tart Bowl and play BYU. You should look at that game and go, all right, we're going to use this game as a showcase.
I mean, that would have been a decent game. Most of the starters probably wouldn't play anyways, but still, that would be better than nothing. If all the starters are playing in that game, then I would take Notre Dame to beat BYU. But it somewhat makes sense that they're pulling out because or opting out because looks like Jeremiah Love, he's gonna go to the draft. He's gonna enter the draft, which he should. I think Jeremiah Love should enter the draft and probably go to a team like Kansas City.
Everyone, we should have been in, and we're going to beat the BYUs by $4 billion. But no, instead you go, this sucks. You're not putting me in the playoff? Well, give me my ball back. I ain't playing in some Pop-Tart ball. I'm going home. Loser mentality. Guess what? You didn't get snubbed, number one. And number two, join a conference. I'm glad this happened to them. Maybe they'll consider joining a conference because they should be in one. If you don't know why they're not in a conference, I don't blame them. It's because they want to make more money, but this is a great reason as to why you should be in one for what we saw today. And they're not going to join a conference. That's fine. It doesn't bother me, but don't complain to me and come crying to me again when this happens again because it probably will happen again. And here's the thing, Notre Dame fans, don't be mad at me. Be mad at your program. You could have easily won the ACC this year. Easily. But no, you want to be independent. That's cool. Have fun in the... Oh, wait a minute. No, I was about to say have fun in the Pop-Tart Bowl. Low-key forgot. You're not even playing in one. Have fun. Getting ready for next year, I guess. That's all I got to say about it. Let me know again in the comment section if you still want to see the Week 15 recap.
All right. All right, Week 15 recap. Let's go.
I hope all of you having a great week and make it a little bit better. And man, oh man, clap it up. I'm excited. Channel, however, got some bad news. This is the last and final recap of the season. Shaking my head. It's, You know, I don't even want to think about this football season coming to an end, although this is the end of the regular season, the end of the
yeah, that is right, man. The football season's almost over. Oh, man. College football season's almost over. Went by so fast. Hey, but I got other content. For sure.
Caps. It's been a great year. It has been a really great year. It sucks. This is the last recap because obviously, I mean, we're not going to be doing like full-out recaps for every single weekend of the bowl games, but it is what it is. I would say by far this is the most fun I've had doing the recaps, and a main reason for that isn't because of anything I've done. It's just the interaction on the channel throughout the year. You guys have just loved the recaps this year. There was a time to get real vulnerable. Will y'all for a second give you some behind the scenes last year where I was questioning. I was like, man, I don't even know if people care about the recaps too much. I know y'all care when we talk about the news and the reaction videos, but I was sitting there going, you know what? We may have to abandon the recaps, but we kept pushing, kept doing them, and this year it was completely different. I was like, oh no, everybody's loving them. I don't know what changed. I really don't, but I'm not going to complain too much. It was just a great year, so I want to say thank you to each and every single one of y'all for watching videos, supporting them. That is more than enough. That's all I ask. Also, too, if you like the content, consider subscribing. If you don't want to subscribe, that's cool too, but we are on the push for 400,000 subscribers. Let's get into some
Get 'em
football stuff.
400K.
I don't got time wasting. You don't get time to waste either. Oh yeah, doing those in there as well. I do apologize. This video is going to be uploaded on Sunday night, a little bit later than normal, but that is ready for your that video in the MBG. Texas, North Texas. We had James Madison beating up on Old Troy. We had Alabama playing Georgia in the rematch this year. That was a blowout. We're going to talk about that. We had the Indiana Hoosiers versus the Wait a minute. I was about to call him little bro. No. We don't do that. That is, can I call him big bro after what happened? No. They lost. We're just going to call him the Ohio State. We had Texas Tech destroying the BYUs. And last but not least, we had an upset. We had the Dukies. 7-5. I know, right? The 7-5 Dukies. I'm shaking my head.
7-5 and about to go 7-5 and won a conference.
Beating Virginia. The ACC champion did not get into the playoff, and there's no argument for it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Duke didn't get in the playoffs, even though they won the conference. Yeah, 7-5, 7-5 team in the playoffs. No way.
At 5 losses. First things first, we'll start with the Green Wave. North Texas. If they wouldn't have thrown that interception, and also there was a pivotal play where they was trying to come back down 13, and they dropped the interception on 3rd down from Retzlaff. They catch that. I think that changes the momentum. It at least shifts it, and they have a good chance of winning this game. But they dropped it. It was the 1st down, and that's all she wrote. Imagine telling someone only a few months ago that Retzlaff, the quarterback who left BYU, or more so they kicked him out, that he'd be going to the playoffs with Tulane and not BYU. Crazy times.
Oh, yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, this Retzlaff dude, yeah, he's the guy who, obviously he used to play for BYU, and, yeah, he was accused of SA, I think. And I think at BYU, you're not supposed to fornicate, I think.
Congratulations to the Tulane Green Wave. Now, here's the thing. It goes back to North Texas just couldn't capitalize, and they didn't execute well. They were, is it crazy to say that I thought they were moving the ball better in Tulane and they looked like the better team? I don't really think it is. They have more first downs, more total yards, better everything. But when you have not 1, not 2, not 3, not even 4, but 5 turnovers, you're not going to win many games. It's actually a testimony of how good North Texas played in this game outside the turnovers, that they only lost by 13. Tulane wins, and they're in the playoffs. Congratulations to them. I'm going to talk about this game for 10 seconds. James Madison destroyed Troy. Am I shocked? No, because Troy's not that great of a football team. And James Madison, they're now 12-1. James Madison was a heavy favorite in this game, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. Troy only had 177 total yards of offense. What's crazy about that is they had 203 passing yards. I know, right? You're sitting there going, wait a minute. What, Matt? You said they had 177 total yards of offense, but 203 passing yards. That doesn't add up. But no, my friend, it does. Because they had negative 26 rushing yards. You saw everybody ridiculing Alabama for having negative 3 rushing yards against Georgia. Well, how about this? It's worse. Congratulations to James Madison for winning that. But let's get into what you're really here for. And I mean that with all due respect to James Madison and Tulane. The Power 4 games. At 11 a.m., we had the BYU seeking revenge on the oil money. The NIL Big Ballers, Texas Tech Red Raiders. I don't want to say the final score.
Texas Tech, dude, they got some ballers at linebackers. They got ballers at the linebacker position. Absolute dogs.
Was deceiving. You see it right here, 34-7. Because this game early on, it was competitive, and it was good. What happened was Texas Tech, they got the interception, started making some big-time plays, and it got out of hand. Whenever you hear someone say football is a game of momentum, look no farther than this game right here. Texas Tech forced a couple of turnovers, capitalized on them, bada bing, bada boom.
BYU once again. I think they played even worse than the last Texas Tech game. They played even worse.
Up, it's a 20-point game. It was an eerily similar feeling I had when I was watching the North Texas and Tulane game. If BYU could just avoid and stop having the disastrous turnovers and plays, they're going to be okay. Not saying they would have won the game, but it wouldn't have been like this. Outside the interception, what about the play-action play where quarterback turns around and boom, he gets annihilated and Texas Tech scoops that up? Texas Tech was a much better team in this game, and I can't get over how great their defense is. Heading into this year, all I heard about was their offense. Their offense isn't bad by any stretch of imagination. They're good, but it's the defense that takes the cake for me. They're ferocious. I also think they're severely underrated. Everybody talks about Oklahoma's defense, Ohio State's, Georgia's. What about Texas Tech? Congrats to the Red Raiders. At 2:30, we had the SEC Championship. We had Alabama. Give them a nice little golf clap. Literally limping into this game versus the Georgia Bulldogs. Well, let's throw this out there. Who did I pick to win this game? I picked Georgia. I also picked them to win by double digits, I believe, unless I'm highly mistaken. I can't remember exactly, but I did pick Georgia to win, and they won. For what we talked about in the preview and prediction video, Alabama is limping into this game, and Alabama is not that good of a team. Ty Simpson has been struggling in the second half of the season. To go on top of that, you got Georgia, completely different story. Yeah, Georgia was banged up. They were missing a starting center. I didn't think it was going to affect them too much because they're resilient. Alabama, I know Ty Simpson says they're resilient. Not really. They just have been getting fortunate this year. Georgia is 4 second-half comebacks.
No, Georgia is far more resilient than Alabama.
Man, Gunnar Stockton, don't even get me started on him. He's got to be invited to the Heisman Trophy ceremony. He was phenomenal in his game.
Nah, he didn't. He didn't get invited. It was actually Jeremiah Love, Diego Pavia, Julian Sayin, and Fernando Mendoza.
6 incompletions. He's not going to wow you, but he's one of the best game managers out there. Their running backs did good. Wide receivers did good. This is just a really good / great football team. And Alabama is not. How did Alabama beat Georgia at Georgia? Don't really know outside of, and this is the only thing you chop it up to, Alabama has some mental edge over the Bulldogs. But that mental edge didn't amount to the hill beans in this one. Ty Simpson, he looked awful. This is the worst game I've seen him play.
Yeah,
but
that was a horrible performance from Ty Simpson. He was terrible.
Every week the past 5 to 6 weeks. Ryan Williams is still dropping passes. The offensive line, they're still getting pushed around a little bit.
Yeah, and also the offensive line didn't play well either. They didn't do a good job protecting Ty. And like Matt said, Ryan Williams dropping passes, still dropping passes.
However, I thought the O-line held up. I see everyone blaming them for Ty Simpson's struggles. I disagree with that. You got to get the ball out quick. Georgia was blitzing. And the O-line, whenever they did get Ty Simpson time to pass, he made terrible throws. The only thing that was good for Alabama in this game, and it's the only thing you can hang your hat on if you're a Bama fan, is our defense looked great. Flying all over the field. Yeah, you see Georgia, they had 28 points. Alabama's defense really only gave up 14. And give credit to Georgia and Gunnar Stockton. They made some big third down conversions that resulted in touchdowns. But think about it. Georgia blocks the punt. Okay, they take over at the 15. Is that on the defense? I don't think so. The other one, what was it? The Ty Simpson. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, well, Ty Simpson did throw an interception. They started at midfield. But how about this? We went for it. It's 21-7 on our own 10-yard line. Didn't get it. So then Georgia started that possession at the 10. So that's 14 points right there. Alabama gifted them. I don't really put that on the defense too much. What I appreciated was the defense was making open field tackles, flying to the ball, and to start the game, they forced dang near 2 straight 3-and-outs. It would have been 2 3-and-outs if not on the first play, Zachariah Branch ran it 15 yards on a bubble screen. But after that, Alabama had them on lockdown. I thought Alabama's defense did their part, but you can't ask them to pitch shutouts. That's not fair. And another thing, too, Georgia had the ball so much because we had, how many was it? 5 3-and-outs in the game. It might have been more. It could have been 6. I know we had 5. Our defense was on the field the entire game. They got tired. They're getting fatigued. The offense was not helping them out. And here's the thing. Even if the offense isn't scoring touchdowns or even field goals, if they can have some long, sustained drives or just not 3-and-outs, if they can be out there for, heck, not even 5 minutes, we'll say 3 to 4 minutes, it gives the defense a breather. But Alabama was going 3-and-out, and only 40 seconds was coming off of the clock. 40 seconds. Defense was exhausted. They were wore down, and that falls on the offense. They've got to be better. Ty Simpson's got to be better. The running backs got to be better. Ryan Williams, don't get me started on him. He's useless. He can't catch the football still. Nothing's changed there. And, yeah, I mean, it's very simple. Alabama has got to play better moving forward, but as far as it goes for this game, Georgia was the much better team, and you don't got to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. Georgia was the better team when we played them in Athens, Georgia, too. Alabama just... they pulled an Alabama, I guess that's what we'll call it. They played like the 1989 San Francisco 49ers that night. Congratulations to Georgia. You've noticed I'm only talking about Alabama because there's nothing to be said about Georgia. They are exactly who I thought they are, and there's nothing to even complain about.
Yeah,
Georgia
that's a
looked like
typical Georgia performance. That is vintage Georgia, you know. Great defense and blowing teams out. You know, a BTA performance. A BTA.
Alabama used to look like. Period, the end. Let's move on. Indiana and Ohio State. That was a heck of a game. Fernando Mendoza, he locked at the Heisman Trophy. Give him the Heisman Trophy. I've seen enough. The throws he was...
I would agree. I agree. Give Fernando the trophy at this point. They should just give it to him.
Making in this game. Throw away the box score. You got to turn on the tape. Phenomenal. And it wasn't just one. There was 4 to 5 where my mouth dropped. I'm like, oh my goodness. That's an NFL quarterback. Ball placement, elite. And the Indiana football team just looks so good. Am I shocked they beat Ohio State?
And also, I would love to see Fernando Mendoza in a Steelers uniform. You know? The draft is supposed to be in Pittsburgh this year. And Aaron Rodgers might retire after this season. Yeah, why not? You know, why not? Why not the Steelers take a quarterback in the first round and possibly take Mendoza?
Hey, yeah, I am, because I did pick Ohio State to win this game, and I thought by far they were the best team in the country. Obviously, they were not. And it's not that I didn't think Indiana could compete. I knew they could. I just thought the gap from Ohio State and Indiana, it was pretty big. And it's not a knock or slide against Indiana. You know how I feel about them. I had them as my number 2 team heading into this week. I've stated they're a great team. It's just Ohio State. They look so good this year. They look unbeatable. But I'm starting to rethink that. Maybe it has a lot to do with they play in a very bad conference where the bottom half is just so bad. It's hard to evaluate these teams. It really is, because the Big Ten, the bottom half of it, so terrible. Caleb Downs even talked about it earlier in the week. He stated the SEC's a gauntlet every single week. And the bottom tier teams, and this is the main difference, the worst teams in the SEC still have dudes to compete with the Georgias and Alabamas in the conference, but the Big Ten does not. Your teams like Rutgers and Purdue, they don't even have the dudes to compete with Ohio State and Indiana. And the list goes on and on. Who else you want to throw in there? Northwestern, Minnesota, Maryland, Michigan State. The list goes on and on and on. Those teams are laughable. But it's a new year, same story. You're always going to have 3 to 4 really good teams in the Big Ten. That holds true. Indiana and Ohio State are, in my humble opinion, the 2 best teams in the nation. And the difference maker in this game.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. Unfortunately, it's not an SEC team, but and also I don't see any SEC team giving them a challenge but Georgia. I think Georgia is the only team that could challenge Indiana and Ohio State. That's the only SEC team that can challenge Ohio State and Indiana. It's Georgia.
Was Ohio State miss a 27-yard chip shot? Ohio State missing a clutch field goal? Huh. Yeah, that seems about right. What's new? I'll show you the stats right here. This was an even game. No fan should be walking away going, oh, yeah, Indiana, they own Ohio State. Indiana's way better. And if you're an Ohio State fan, you shouldn't hold your head and go, oh, man, we suck. How do we lose to Indiana? No. It's fine. Even game. The difference maker was, like we just talked about, a field goal. I will say this, though. I thought Indiana, from start to finish, deserved to win. I thought they were the better team, so I am happy they wound up pulling off this upset. Congratulations to them. You are Big Ten champions, but as we know, and I think both fan bases would attest to this is not the goal. Although you want to win every single game, you want to beat Ohio State, vice versa. Ohio State wants to beat Indiana.
The Natty is the goal.
The goal is the national championship. I guarantee you this right now. If you were to tell a Georgia fan, okay, you have two options. One, you beat Alabama, but you lose in the playoffs. Or two, Alabama beats you, and you'll win a national championship. Every single fan saying, yeah, I'll take option number two. I'll take a loss to Alabama if that means we win the national championship. Same thing here. Not many people are going to remember the 2025 Big Ten championship, but they are going to remember who wins the 2025 national championship. I'm really looking forward to see how both these teams do in the playoffs, but especially Ohio State. I want to see how they respond. And last but not least, to cap off our recap, our final game we're going to talk about in the 2025 recap, we got the Dukies beating Virginia. We got to clap it up to the Dukies. That's a feel-good winning story right there. Virginia, not that good of a team. I'm not going to beat them down too much. It sucks you lost because if you win, you'd have been in the playoff. But the Dukies prevailed, and they tried to give it away at the end. They tried to blow the league, but they came up clutch. Congrats to them, I guess, but it just feels so weird to even think about Duke, who is now 8-5, as your ACC champion. It's just hard to fathom. But I need to fathom it because guess what? It's reality. Many more things I could say. I don't want to make this super long. I can assure you of this. We have a ton of stuff to talk about in the upcoming weeks and days. So, all
right, man. W video. Can't wait until the playoffs. Can't wait. Okay, I promise you, I have not seen this video, but let's watch it.
All these Miami and Notre Dame.
I tried to warn you.
All these Miami and Notre Dame fans just hating on Alabama and berating them while they're playing on championship weekend is the definition of you hating outside the club. You can't even get in. Monday, if not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And man, oh man. We got some, let's just say, interesting things to talk about in today's video. It's early December. Side note, my favorite time of the year. I love when it's getting cold, and I've said it before, I'm going to say it again. I love the cold weather. You can't beat it. And for all my gym goers, is there a better feeling than walking out of the gym all hot and sweaty to that cold, crisp air? I don't think so. But getting back on track here, it's early December. What does that mean for us college football fans? Chaos is actively ensuing right in front of our eyes, and I love it. You got coaches leaving left and right. You got the transfer portal. It's about to heat up, and we got the playoffs. And we're going to talk all about that, and we're going to make more videos today. Be on the lookout for that. But for now, at least, we got to talk about something that transpired this most recent weekend and something that led up to it. I don't want to make this a long video. However, I do want to talk about it a little bit, and I am going to toot my own horn a little bit. I hope y'all don't mind. I'm sure many of you saw my reaction to the playoff rankings. If you haven't, feel free to check it out for yourself. We had a great time reacting to that. I enjoyed it. I think it's more than safe to say your boy Maddie got a little too passionate in that video, but hey, it is what it is. I love my team. I'm excited we got in. But I wasn't so passionate that Alabama got in. What I was really rallied up about is all the people calling me stupid leading up into it. I'll be honest with you. Me being hyped up in that video had nothing to do with Alabama getting in. Because to tell you the truth, and I stated it, don't act like this is brand new information. I've been saying it since the Auburn game. Alabama was a lock, and that was 2 weeks ago. Why was I so amped up? I stated in the video, I demand a formal apology. Kind of joking when I say that, but seriously, I demand an apology, and it has nothing to do with you hating Alabama. It's between me and you. If you didn't see this video as well, late on Saturday night, early Sunday morning, like we do every single year, I filled out my final bracket, and what do you know, not to gloat too much, it was perfect. And if you want a good laugh, if you want a good smirk, if you're a Bama fan, go to that comment section, because everybody was saying how stupid I was, and I'll pop up some of the comments here. I'm not going to pop up all of them because there's thousands. I'm not going to read them off either. You can read them off for yourself. Everybody's saying, I can't believe this guy's got him at 9. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. And the quote or phrase everybody loves to say is, oh, this guy just doesn't know ball. What is this guy talking about? Yada, 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 this, that, and the third. You know what they're saying? And, well,
yeah,
here we are. Not only was I kind of right about Alabama getting in,
Bama
I
has
nailed it
no
on the
shot.
head. The entire bracket, I was right about Miami. I was right about James.
So, you know, but at the time when Alabama, well, why I say at the time, it wasn't a few years ago. It was Saturday night. On Saturday, I did say Alabama did not deserve to be in the playoffs after that performance. I did say that. I'll admit it. Like they were absolutely terrible against Georgia, and not to discredit Georgia, of course. I'm still giving Georgia credit for playing well, but Alabama was just absolutely terrible in that game. And I was like, oh, Alabama, they shouldn't get in the playoffs after that performance. But I always knew, well, I'm pretty sure it's new. I knew that Alabama was going to get in anyways. They were going to get in anyways because of that resume. And they're only 10-3. So I knew this would happen.
Madison, everything. It was perfect. And it's not even just Bama, guys. I made a video on Saturday. I'll pop it up on the screen for you right here, titled, I Have Bad News for Notre Dame. I told you at 3 p.m. Central on Saturday that Notre Dame wasn't getting in. I told you what was going to happen even before the Alabama game.
Man, he predicted all of that, dude.
And not just on Saturday alone, I was telling you days leading up into this. I could see this coming from a mile away. I don't want to get into this too much either, but whenever I tell you guys, hey, I've been talking to some of my sources, and I have sources here, sources there, giving us this information, I don't just say that to say that. I mean it. I'm not going to divulge into this too much, because if you say too much, that's how you lose your sources. I may or may not have the inside scoop on some situations. I'll leave you with that, and you're probably already sick and tired. All right, Matt, I get it. You was right. I was wrong. All right, well, what's the whole focal point of this video? And we're not just going to talk about that. But here's what I do want to talk about. Let me explain to you why what happened on Saturday, or my apologies, on Sunday morning, it happened. One thing humans are terrible at doing, including us in the sports community, including myself, is having recency bias, and it's just human nature. I'll give you a great example. If a tornado hits your area, everybody immediately is like, oh my gosh, this is the worst natural disaster to come through here in the history of it, but in reality it's not. Something worse happened 30 years ago, but since it's just happened, you think it's the worst thing ever. I will tell you this much though, I don't know if we'll ever see something as bad as April 27th, 2011. If you're from North Alabama, you remember that day like it was yesterday. I'll never forget that day. It felt like I was in a dream. It felt like a movie. It just doesn't seem real, but it was. It was a living nightmare. And I love weather. I love snow, tornadoes. I love tracking all that. Well, fun fact, I was considering being a meteorologist coming out of high school. That's how infatuated I was with it. With that being said, you never want to live through something like that, but that's besides the point.
Yeah,
Different video
horrible.
for a different day. April 20.
Yeah, we don't get stuff like that here in South Carolina. We don't get stuff like that.
27, 2011 was
Thank
a
God.
disastrous day in the Southeast, but the place it hit hardest is where I reside, Northern Alabama. It was bad, really bad. And getting back on track here, sorry for that tidbit on tornadoes. I know y'all don't care about that. Applying what I said to the college football community, anytime we see a spectacular catch, what do we do? Oh my gosh, that's the greatest catch ever. But no, there's probably a better catch only a year ago. Anytime we see a great game, we go, dude, that's probably the best game of all time. But it just wasn't. We always say,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I admit it. I did have recency bias when I said Alabama shouldn't get in the playoffs after that awful performance against Georgia. After that awful performance. But logically, it made sense that Alabama's in the playoffs.
Say that. And I tell you guys this. I am a professional overreactor. So nobody has worse recency bias than me, myself, and I. We do it every single year and every single week on the channel, especially in week 1. That is when the overreactions happen. Why am I bringing all that up, though? It's a great question, my friend. I'll let to answer it. Everybody with this CFP bracket and these CFP rankings had recency bias. I guess you could say I'm patting myself on the back here. I never looked at this SEC championship game for Alabama and went, okay, it's make or break. If they get blown out, nah, I'm dropping them out of the playoff. That doesn't make any sense. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is one game. I'm telling you now for future reference, you have to zoom out when you're talking about the college football playoff rankings and the final bracket. You can't just zone in on what happened in championship or even rival weekend. You can't just point to one game period the end. Did Alabama get blown out against Georgia? Absolutely. But may I remind you, they beat this same Georgia team at Georgia at night.
Yep, that is true. That's true. That was one of the best wins this season. That's probably one of, if not the most impressive win this season, besides Indiana beating Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. Besides that, Indiana win against Ohio State, Alabama beating Georgia in Georgia was one of the most impressive wins. And of course, Georgia beating Bama was an impressive win in the SEC championship as well. But I'm just saying that obviously Bama beating Georgia in Sanford Stadium was very impressive.
Alabama, despite what you think of them, has the best win in all the college football. Nobody has a better win. Indiana had an impressive win against Ohio State, but it wasn't on the road. It was neutral site. When you take a look at Alabama's resume, it wasn't even close. It wasn't even comparable to Notre Dame and Miami's. It was far superior. They was in the top 10 in every metric out there.
That is a good resume. Very good. Georgia and Vanderbilt. That's the two ranked wins. And the loss, obviously, Oklahoma.
Did everybody forget about the 4-game stretch where Alabama beat 4 straight ranked teams? They beat Georgia at Georgia. They beat Vanderbilt. They beat Missouri at Missouri. And they beat Tennessee. I know those teams aren't ranked anymore, but still, those are 4 decent/good teams. But everybody's forgotten about it. Why? Because it feels like it happened so long ago. But when you were talking about these rankings, you got to look at the entire season. Here's the bottom line. If you want to throw Alabama in this, even though Alabama wasn't even the last team in. The last team in and the last decision was Miami.
Look at that, man. That's so logical that Miami's in over Notre Dame. Like, I talked about this before, but I just want to point it out again. Like, it just made so much sense. Well, not so much, but it makes sense that Miami's in over Notre Dame. 1-0. They got one ranked win. They both of them have ranked wins, but Notre Dame is 1-2 against the top 25, while Miami's 1-0, and Miami also beat Notre Dame.
But even if you want to throw them in there, did you see the strength of schedule that Alabama had? It was in the top 10. Did you see Notre Dame's and Miami's 44th and 45th? What are we talking about? Despite what you think, these metrics you're looking at right here, they're pretty dang good because it doesn't just point to the last couple of games, the last 6 games. It points to the entire season, the entire body of work, and you got to look at that. I can't speak for you, but I'm glad the committee is valuing strength of schedule. It has got to matter.
It has to matter. It has to.
This much too, the SEC.
Yeah, I think like last season, like teams like Indiana and SMU were getting rewarded for beating absolutely nobody. And yes, they had good records, but if you look at their record and you look at their resume, if you look at their resume, They didn't beat anybody.
The days of Texas scheduling Ohio State, those days are over with. That's a different video for a different day, and I also appreciate the committee doing what they did in Notre Dame because we have got to penalize teams like Notre Dame who think they're bigger than the game. They want to stay independent. I know why they're doing it because they get all the money. That's also a different video for a different day. But if you're not going to play in a conference championship and you get to cherry pick your schedule, no, we're not going to allow you to have a crappy schedule, have the 44th best strength of schedule in the nation, and just have a cakewalk to the playoff. It's stupid because, yes, you play 2 tough teams this year. Only 2. I'm not considering USC a tough team. USC is a decent team / good team. They're not a tough team. You play 2 tough teams this year, and you lost both of them. Outside of that, you did nothing. You did nothing. Here's the difference. If you want to joke on, well, Alabama plays 2 cupcakes a year, Matt, in the non-conference, that's fine. They do that on purpose because they know the SEC is a gauntlet. Here's the thing with that, and I'll give credit to Miami. With being in a conference, you don't get to pick who you play for all your conference games. Here's the last thing I'm going to say, and we'll end out the video. I don't want to make it super long. For future reference, please, I am asking for your sake, not mine, because I already know this information. For your sake, you got to look at the entire season. You got to look at the full body of work. You cannot watch a team get demolished in a championship game, whether it be the Big Ten, ACC, SEC, or Big 12 championship, and go, nah, man, they looked awful. They don't even deserve to be in the playoffs. You can't do it, not on championship weekend, because that team made it to the championship for a reason. There's a reason Miami wasn't playing in the championship. And it also doesn't make sense to penalize that team because that is a bonus game. Meanwhile, Miami and Notre Dame are eating cheesy puffs. All these Miami and Notre Dame fans just hating on Alabama and berating them while they're playing on championship weekend is the definition of you hating outside the club. You can't even get in. Notre Dame fans, you're not even playing on championship weekend. So, and I mean this with all due respect, shut your mouth. That's all I got to say. Let me know your thoughts down below. But
All right.
So each year is...
All right, man. That was a W video. Yep, people hating on Alabama, man. Alabama fatigue. That's what they got. Alabama fatigue. Okay, the streamer rewards was a disaster. Let's go. Okay, he's got a haircut.
So each year, a streamer named QT Cinderella runs an award show called the Streamer Awards, which is basically a fun little thing that she does to bring the streaming community together, combat toxicity, because there's a lot of that within the streaming realm, and celebrate creators' hard work, pretty much like the Grammys, but for streamers and a little more fun. And little disclaimer, this isn't a Streamer Awards hate video. I respect what QT Cinderella does. I think it's amazing, and I enjoy the award show every year. I think it's something definitely needed within streaming. And the coolest part about it is that she doesn't have to do it, but she still does it to bring the streaming community together. I just find that pretty cool. I know the title is kind of crazy, but hey, I got to get y'all to watch somehow. That being said, when it comes to the Streamer Awards, there's always drama up to the award show and after the award show, like supporters and streamers saying certain streamers don't deserve specific awards, people saying QT Cinderella is rigging the award show when this stuff is fan voted according to her. If you don't win, it's because your fans just don't vote. Now, maybe it is a bit rigged to weed out certain controversial people so they don't start anything at the Streamer Awards, which I think is completely fine. This year though, there's a bit of some drama at the award show. Usually it's before and after, but there was a lot during the show. And I'm starting to notice a pattern. I'ma say it. These streamers who are a part of the drama this year are all new to streaming. And by new to streaming, I mean they just started streaming within the past 2 years. Don't get me wrong, it's really good that Twitch is mainstream and is getting a bigger audience, but I'm not liking how these newer streamers think they know everything. Like the first drama that happened this year was when the streamer Ty Lil got mad at the streamer Fan for making a Diddy joke about Kai Cenat, basically saying he looks like Diddy. And that got Ty Lil's panties in a bunch, which these bad jokes are a part of the show. This always happens. And people say Kai looks like Diddy all the time, even his mother. So Ty Lil getting pressed by this is just plain stupid.
So congratulations to you. Oh, and also congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
If you all gonna be on the mic, now turn this mic, now turn this shit on. Turn this shit on. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny.
I thought it was.
Have a good.
Ty Lil, you don't understand any of this because you're a new streamer. Unfortunately, that's the humor of the.
That's the joke. That's a joke, obviously, and it wasn't the best joke. Let's be
award
honest.
show. Do your research next time before going. Imagine going to a comedy show and getting mad at the comedian for cracking specific jokes on you because you didn't do the research knowing that this comedian was gonna do that. That's just flat out stupid, Ty Lil. And now, don't get me wrong, Diddy has done some horrific things, right? But at the end of the day, Kai still looks like Diddy. This is like a joke within the streaming community. Some people will call him Diddy Sanat just because he looks like Diddy. It's a funny joke. And I find it crazy because I promise you, if another person told this joke, Ty Lil wouldn't be this uptight. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, but he got offended for Kai. Kai didn't even look like he was mad at the joke. And it's not like the streamer Fan was just targeting Kai. She made jokes about Hassan shocking his dog.
Thank you, I love you. Hassan is here. Is that a vibration remote in your pocket, or are you just excited to be here?
I'll put it on you later.
She also made a joke about FaZe being homophobic because that's what all the internet thinks when they're not.
If you guys see Austin roaming around, though, just report to Hassan, because Austin's the only one who knows this place command. All right, let's keep going this way. The homophobic table! Woo! Or was it misogynistic? I don't remember. Hi. Jason, Sakura, the internet's favorite couple, hi, and their short gay son, Ron.
Notice how they're all just taking the joke because they know that's what comes with this award show. There's going to be bad jokes. Jokes that
they're
are
just sitting there being quiet.
edgy and jokes that aren't the funniest, but that's the nature of the streamer awards. Kai wasn't the only one getting these jokes, yet Ty Lil felt like she was disrespecting Kai. Like I said, it's not like Kai was mad. He seemed out of it during the award show, but he didn't seem mad at all. Like, this is just a bad look for Ty Lil. Now, it's maybe because Kai was going through something mentally, because during the streamer awards, he actually gave a speech saying that he was having a rough time with his mental health, so that's why he took a huge hiatus from streaming after Mafiathon 3, which, for y'all that don't know, that's like his subathon. He was basically streaming 30 days straight, doing everything on stream, even sleeping on stream, and it caused a lot of damage to his mental.
I appreciate everybody who decided to vote for me for this award.
Man, I'm glad he cut off the locks.
One thing I wanted to say to you guys tonight is I hope a lot of creators in here and everybody at home and the viewers and the streamers really take care of your mental health. I just noticed that recently I just been going through things in my head, and I was able to, turn to anime, Death Note, Naruto, recently since I've been gone, and I just been able to, find happiness within that.
Which is good that he's taking a break and he's getting his mental well. But that being said, this still doesn't justify Ty Lil getting mad over a joke. Also, this came later in the award show. Maybe Ty Lil knew this before. I'm sure he did because they're pretty close. But like I said, this doesn't justify him getting mad over a little joke. This wasn't her targeting Kai and only Kai. It was just an edgy joke off a script. Why are your panties in a bunch, Ty Lil? I know that you have to meet Ride Kai to keep your career. You don't got to meet ride him this hard. Another thing that happened at the award show was QT Cinderella made a joke about Rakai stealing, which we talked about in my last video on Nina Lin. Rakai stole from a store and got banned on Twitch. Rakai stole these flowers, gave it to a woman, and she walked out with them. And she made a stealing joke because this was pretty recent. And a lot of people took this as her being racist because Rakai is black and she is white and she's making a stealing joke about Rakai, when no, she was just making a joke because he stole on
it was just a joke.
Stream.
Rakai? Question.
Yo.
What's the coolest thing you've ever stolen? Don't answer it, it's a test, it's a test, Rakai! Have you learned nothing? Don't answer it, don't answer it! Take his mic, take his mic, what? Well, yeah, no, he's learned his lesson, he's not allowed to answer that. All right, extra Emily.
Which, once again, it may not be the best joke, but that's just the nature of this award show. Bad jokes, cringy jokes, corny jokes, and edgy jokes. That's just what it is. I don't think QT Cinderella is racist for making this joke. Now, another drama that happened during the show was when India Love was on the stage and she said that Rakai and DDG should have won Best Breakout Streamer over FaZe Adapt. Which, once again, like I said, I'm noticing a pattern. India Love just started streaming after Streamer University. Streamer University was this year. This woman had no idea what Twitch was. And she's over here giving her bird-brained opinion.
Real quick, y'all. I know Breakout Streamer of the Year went to break.
You know, seen the clip multiple times, you know, just corny, immature, and what else? Embarrassing, just classless. What else? She needs to chill out on the alcohol. Well, not blaming the alcohol, but still, like, just a very bad look.
Breakout Streamer of the Year went to Adapt, and congratulations, and we respect you for what you did. But Rakai should have won Breakout Streamer of the Year.
How did she even get on stage? Why was there no security?
And DDG, I don't care what y'all say. Shout out Rakai, shout out blah, 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 blah.
This woman really thought that she was gonna have her Kanye moment right there. In her head, she thought that moment was her snatching the mic from Taylor Swift, when in reality, she's just a dumb BBL brain bandit from Instagram who just dates a bunch of celebrities. And she's mad at them for not winning, yet their communities did not vote for them. Also, how are both of them supposed to win at the same time? This woman is just an idiot. If you're gonna try to have a Kanye moment, at least do it correctly. At least don't stutter. Like, this is just so crazy to me. This woman, India Love, has done nothing but be a community ball to celebrities and other streamers. Shut up. Now, it's maybe because she thinks that the accolades of these different celebrities and streamers that she slept with are sexually transmitted, but newsflash, India Love, you're not a celebrity because you smashed a celebrity. Shut up, please. And after this, she got kicked out of the award show. Which, rightfully so, because she shouldn't have went up on stage
obviously
and said
the right
that.
thing.
Look, you're entitled to your
to
own
do.
opinion. If you think someone else should have won over another person, cool. But it's extremely disrespectful when you're invited to this thing and you just crash out on stage like that. You came up from just being on DDG's streams. Please shut up, ma'am. Not even ma'am. You're a heathen, India Love. Oh my gosh, you're a heathen. All that plastic in your body went up to your brain. Now, when the award show ended, India Love decided to do an IRL stream at a restaurant, and she decided to explain why she did it.
Hey, you know me, I'm super.
Dudes will say anything to smash a woman, bruh. This dude is calling her glazing her for her being an ignorant ghetto idiot. Why are you glazing this woman for that?
Yeah, this dude's clearly trying to smash. Clearly. Like, dude. Just. Yeah, just. It was just a very ghetto act from her. Like, very ghetto. And just. Yeah,
Dudes will say
classless.
anything to smash a woman, bruh. This dude is calling her glazing her for her being an ignorant ghetto.
And I wanted to say this. Like, I find it absolutely insane. I was reading the comments about the whole India clip, and I seen dudes literally defend India for walking on stage and saying Rakai or DDG should have won. Ah, man, it's like, oh man, people in the comic section, you know, I guess they're just trying to rage bait, but you know, to get replies. But I just find it's just hard to take them seriously, and also it just shows, like, I'm not the smartest guy either, but it just shows that you know, some people aren't too bright.
Dudes will say anything to smash a woman, bruh. This dude is calling her glazing her for her being an ignorant ghetto idiot. Why are you glazing this woman for that? Why?
it needed to happen, I was gonna make it happen regardless. I was gonna make it happen regardless. You know what's crazy though, Dez? All my life, when I went over there to go talk to Rakai, I didn't like his demeanor. Like, Rakai head was down. Rakai didn't have his light. I'm like, nah, niggas need to feel this shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he just didn't have, like, Rakai's head was down. His whole, like, I didn't like that shit.
Yo, buddy, somebody call me. It's a
All right, bye.
So because Rakai's head was down during the Streamer Awards, instead of just going over to him, talking to him, and cheering him up, you decided to disrupt the award show, saying that this person shouldn't have won. These two should have instead. India Love, you are a genuine idiot. Oh my gosh, this woman is an idiot. How does she think this was okay? I hope she never gets invited to one of these award shows again. Never. Because people like this, they make streamers look bad, when in reality, they're not really streamers. Yes, she streams on Twitch, but let's be so real. She is not a streamer. She just started streaming this year. Streaming should have been gatekept, man. Holy. There's another point where India Love was on Deshae Freaky Frost's sister's stream, Brooklyn Frost, and she was explaining how she got kicked out and everything and doubling down.
Woo, they said, hey, get up. They grabbed you in my arms and got
What?
you have to leave. So sorry, Cinderella. It was not like that. I was just, for the people. Like,
you're not for the people.
For the people? What people? What, the ghetto people?
it was not like
People
that.
who support ghetto activity?
I was just, for the people. Like,
you're not for the people, India Love. Why do you think that you're for the people? You don't speak for other streamers. You don't even speak for streaming communities. Why do you think you run this stuff? You're in the room with these people who have streamed for years, yet you think that your opinion is more valid than theirs?
I was feeling how he was feeling, and the people in the crowd.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody thought it was going to be Rakai or DDD.
Yeah.
Not everyone thought that. It's just that that's the only streamers you know. You're only on that side of Twitch. For those that don't know, there's actually two sides of Twitch. There's the Pogger side and the WL side. The WL side is the more mainstream side. When you're watching them, they're talking in sentences. They'll be like, oh, W if something good is happening.
Yeah, yes, there's two different communities, like he said, the Poggers and the WNL community. But there's a certain, how do I say this? There's like a certain side of, the WL community, which is like the ghetto part of Twitch, or the ghetto part of the WL community. Like just just have like a bunch of, sexual stuff on stream, if you know what I mean.
L if something bad is happening, while the Pogger side, it's more complex. Like, they talk in emotes. If you're really like a Twitch nerd, you'll know about it.
So, like,
No, I definitely thought. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was very shocked. I was like,
But I have to give respect to it.
Yeah.
Like, he did his big one. But, like, on some streaming shit, 2025, like, stop playing, bro.
yeah.
You can't say that you wanted to give respect to Adapt while disrespecting him in
She disrespected him. Like, what?
the award show at the same time. He won the award, fair and square. His community voted. What she could have said was, good job to all the nominees of the best breakout streamer. All of y'all are amazing. I really wanted my boy DDG to win, but hey, Adapt, I love it that you won. You're doing big things and you're going to do great things with streaming. I'm glad that you're in your second prime. She could have just said something like that. But no, you think this BBL bandit can articulate herself like that? Hell no.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's the truth, Chad. I'm not gonna lie.
The truth will set you free.
Yes, it will.
That's
Truth?
not the truth. Y'all
No.
are both just idiots. This is the biggest problem with streaming right now. People who don't need to be streaming are streaming, and they're making streaming look bad for people who actually enjoy streaming. If you want to talk about the truth, that's the truth. Same with Brooklyn Frost. You're not talking about no type of truth. Now, naturally, other streamers decide to give their opinion on the India Love situation, like the streamer Lacey, and he was talking about how India Love asked him to collab, and he declined because he knew she was weird.
If you don't, it's still a very fun event. Shout out Cutie for hosting the event. Fuck India Love for ruining the event. And yeah, that's pretty much it,
You know what's crazy? She was asking to fucking collab with FaZe.
Yeah, I know. That's why she did that. I literally got it. Yeah, Chad. She was literally asking me to collab 2 days ago, and I said no because she wanted to do a makeover on me. I was like, what? So I was like, no.
Now, what I find so funny about India Love trying to do this makeup stream with Lacey is that India Love was actually on stream with Ryan Garcia, I want to say a week or two prior to this, and she was talking about how men shouldn't be wearing makeup.
My daughter's birthday is actually on Saturday.
Nice. What are you guys doing?
Having a birthday party.
Nice. Is it a themed?
Mm-hmm. Princess thing.
Nice.
If you have any like nephews, anybody that wants to pull up.
That'd be nice. Thank you. Oh yeah. Are you gonna like let her like put makeup on you and do that type of stuff?
No.
No. I mean, not like that, but like you know how your dad. Yeah, that was a stupid question. Why would
I gotta show her like now.
That's nice.
Men don't wear that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you cleared that up.
Yeah,
but
gotta make sure she knows this ain't what it's supposed
kids
to
will
be.
be kids.
True,
Yeah,
but they learn everything. They're like sponges.
Yes,
They're like,
they are.
oh, guys wear makeup?
Yeah,
No, they don't.
You're so great for that.
Which I find so funny because 2 weeks later, she's trying to do this makeup stream with Lacey and FaZe. This woman is literally just a walking contradiction. I don't even think she thinks before she speaks. I think when she got a BBL, they probably put her brain in her booty, man, just to make it fatter.
Brain in her
I think that
booty
was
is
the goal.
Crazy.
If y'all want a video on India Love, I'd be so good. I'd love to make that.
Yeah, you might as well because you've been talking about her for several minutes.
In an instant. If y'all want that, let me know in the comment section below.
Yeah,
Now,
might
at
as
the end of the
well.
award show, somebody who was close to Wendy Ortiz or like a Wendy Ortiz supporter said that Wendy's gonna win Streamer of the Year next year while QT and Maya were giving a speech, essentially just disrupting the show. And once again, Wendy Ortiz is somebody who's new to streaming this year.
Time to be together tonight. If you didn't know. What? Huh?
Keep talking.
Okay, that was really helpful. Thank you so much. I'm sure Wendy's really happy you did that. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Did I just get fucking one guy to IRL? Are you fucking kidding me? That's crazy.
I feel bad for QT Cinderella because she puts a lot of effort into these, trying to make it fun for the streaming community, just to bring them together. Yet a lot of streamers don't understand that. They take this super seriously, and when they don't win, they cry and get mad at other people for winning. She doesn't have to do this. If I was QT Cinderella, I'm not gonna lie, I would probably just say that we're doing another one, then cancel directly before, just to piss people off. I think that would be amazing to do. QT, I hope you do that, please. Like, these awards don't mean anything. Yeah, they're cool, but they don't mean anything. So why get angry when you don't get one? Yeah, it's cool to get one, but they don't mean everything, dude. Stream to stream. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. That should be enough. Too many people get wrapped up in these accolades and the community just gets super toxic. It's so sad. Another thing that happened at the Streamer Awards was when FaZe won Org of the Year, Wendy Ortiz decided to make a post saying, yay, women haters. Which, if y'all watched my last video, Wendy Ortiz was calling them women haters because they were holding Nina Lynn accountable for stealing on stream. And Wendy couldn't see that, so
Just stupid, man. Stupid.
just called them women haters.
Just calling them
Somehow, if you hold
misogynistic.
someone accountable for shoplifting, you're misogynistic. It's so crazy, the logic of some of these streamers, man. The streamers that are causing these issues are
Oh yeah, fortunately I can't finish the video, man. Just yeah, we get it. Like some streamers are idiots. You know, they just do stupid stuff. Unfortunately, I can't finish the rest of this video. I have to get off, unfortunately, because my sister is about to go to bed. Her room is literally not next door, but just, you know, close to my room. Let's say that. But anyways, thank you for everyone who tapped in. Even if it was only for like 30 seconds, man. Thank you for tapping in. And hopefully I'll be live again tomorrow. But there's something I gotta do tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll have time to stream tomorrow, but we'll see. Have a good night.